Dear brothers and sisters, it's said that it was on Christmas night in the year 1223 that St. Francis created the first Christmas crib. And he used real people and live animals. He told a friend, "I really want to see and feel the hardship which the infant Jesus endured for me." I think Francis had the right idea, because even though we've such a beautiful crib here in the cathedral in Armagh, somehow its warmth and cleanliness are a bit of a contrast to what it must have been like in that smelly stable on a bitter Bethlehem night. Sometimes I think we've diluted the profound mystery of the Incarnation, the Word made flesh, by tinsel wrapping it in sentimental stories of a silent fairy tale night when all was calm and bright. With all the rushing around over the last few weeks and getting all the things in for Christmas, sometimes we can forget what Christmas is really about. To think that God, the eternal Word, humbled himself to become a human being like us, that Almighty God, the creator of the universe, became as small and vulnerable as a little child lying in a manger, Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us. It's only right and proper, of course, that we celebrate the joy and happiness of Christ's birth. But if we want to do so authentically, then we need to remember that Christ was born into the poverty and suffering of a stable, and he really embraced our suffering in this world. The challenge for all of us believers is to make our faith real and grounded, to bring our faith to life, and to make the Incarnation a real and tangible event for all those in our time who are still longing for good news and hope for a brighter future. It's important to remember that in the streets of some of our big cities, homeless people last night were searching, like Mary and Joseph did, for a sheltered space to lie down for the night. Last night in the big refugee camps on the borders of Kenya, there were hundreds of thousands of families from South Sudan and Somalia gathered there. And much nearer home, we know that although Christmas is such a happy time, thank God, there are many people who struggle to make it through Christmas and wouldn't be able to do so without the help of charities like St. Vincent de Paul's Society. A 17th century German mystic wrote, "Were Christ to be born in 1,000 stables, it would be to no avail if he wasn't born in our hearts." So on that note, I want to thank all of you who have reached out during Advent and over this Christmas time to help others. And maybe still we can do so. Our collection at all our Masses today is taken up for the poor. And it is a good way of us remembering that many people are less fortunate than we are. I also want to thank on this Christmas Day the many people who have been really making their faith concrete and bringing it to life during the pandemic. I want to thank all of the people who have really let the light of Christ shine out through them in countless acts of love and generosity. Our healthcare workers, all our carers and neighbours and volunteers, our teachers and shop workers and clergy, and so many others who in concrete ways have been expressing that Christ is God with us. Of course, we're all still a bit nervous about COVID. The new variant and all that makes us a bit fearful this Christmas. And all the ongoing restrictions and confusing messages about what's going to happen next. I think we all need to hear the words that the angel spoke to the shepherds on the first Christmas night. "Do not be afraid. I bring you news of great joy." And that message of hope is offered to each one of us personally and to our families and loved ones this Christmas. Do not be afraid. I bring you news of great joy. And just as important is that we, as followers of Jesus, bring the Christmas message of hope and peace and love and generosity to everyone that we meet during these holy days of the Christmas season and on into the new year. Let's each of us try to bring our faith to life.